डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर ओपन युनिव्हर्सिटी.
Namaskar. I, Dr. MBA01C101, Assistant Professor Management, welcomes you all at Chaitanya Studio Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University. Students, today we are going to discuss the unit number 10, Budgeting, Semester 1, and the course is MBA, subject is Principles of Management. So students, let us have a look that we are going to discuss the points in this lecture. Students, first of all, I want to inform that in the previous lecture, we have studied the definition of budget, different characteristics of budget, then why budget is important, means what is the role of budget in any enterprise, in any business, and the different types of budget. Students, today we will discuss the remaining part of the types of budget in this lecture. Let us have a look of the types of budget. So in the previous lecture, we have studied the different types of budget on the basis of flexibility, on the basis of function, on the basis of flexibility, on the basis of the material required. In this lecture, we are going to discuss what is budgetary control, why budgetary control is important in any organization, and different techniques of the budgetary control. Students, first, we will discuss the financial budget. The remaining types of budget that we have discussed in the previous lecture, today we will start from the financial budget. So, what is the meaning of financial budgets? The name itself suggests the meaning. So, financial budgets holds the utmost importance in any business enterprise. That means under this budget, the inflows and outflows. So, what we are doing in financial budgets, we are estimating the inflows and outflows of cash, that is for a particular time period, that is for the budgeted period, like for 6 months, for 1 year, for 2 years. So it is ensured that the enough working capital is available in the entity and no issues of liquidity are arise in the said period. So whatever amount of cash that is we required to run the business, that is called working capital. So we have the enough working capital to run the business and no issues of liquidity, no issues of cash problems will arise in the particular time period that we have budgeted. So financial budget is all about this. Financial budget also ensures that the availability of finance is utilized in the most effective manner. So whatever we have decided that this cost, this cash will be used for this purpose only. So we are ensuring that this available finance will be utilized in particular for particular point of view. And financial budget also makes an estimated about the amount of profit distributed among the stakeholders. So what is the meaning of stakeholders? So stake, that means interest, those who have interest in the business, those who are related with the business. So the amount of profits to be plugged back into the business. So financial budget, we can say, consists of the cash budget and capital expenditure budget. The next one is cash budget. So a cash budget represents an estimate of cash inflows and cash outflows for the budgeted period. So it is the estimation of future requirements of cash. So what the cash that will be required in the future, and what are the sources, that is internal, external sources that will be required for acquiring the same. So here what we are doing, the cash budget is based on the cash inflows and cash going out, that means cash outflow. So we are making the budget, it is again the basis on some decided period, the budgeted period. Cash budget is prepared prepared for the weekly, we can say. It can be prepared for monthly, quarterly, half yearly. It can be for yearly basis as per the requirement of the entity. If the business required that we have to make the cash budget for a weekly time period, so they can make and maintain for the week. And same way in monthly, quarterly, half yearly, yearly, they can make and maintain. And they can know what is the inflow in the business and outflow. And according to that, they can reduce the cost, or maybe it is not as per the estimation. So if the cash is more than the estimated, then they can use the they can utilize wherever they can it is required. So cash budget is an important for control. It is also an important controlling tool for the business, that wherever it is required, wherever we have to we need to expense for some particular resources. So we come to know via this cash budget that here the resources are scarce and we can expend the cash in that way. capital expenditure budget. The capital expenditure budget estimates the capital projects in which the firms will invest. So firm want to know that wherever the investment is required. So by making this capital expenditure budgets, the capital expenditure budgets estimates it gives the estimation about the capital projects that in which firms it can invest, and the various capital projects can be proposed and can be evaluated on various parameters. Then the final selection of the most profitable project is made. So we have list of options, so we have to decide as per the business person, the owner, they have to decide that which business plan which is more profitable to them, and in that project they can invest. And the various methods of evaluating capital projects are internal rate of return method, payback period method, net present value, that is NPV, and profitability index method. The next one is why budgetary control. We have till now we have learned budget, different types of budget. Now the budgetary control, why in any organization, in any entity, why budgetary control is required, what is the role, and why it is helpful. So budgetary control is the process of controlling cost of an entity by the formulation of budget. Means the budgetary control is a wider concept, like preparation of budget is only a part of it. So budgetary control is a huge concept, and what we have discussed right now, the types of budget, how we will prepare, the preparation of budget, it is just the part of it. So budgetary control is a strategy, we can say it is a strategy used to measure the actual incomes, expenditures, quantity. We have discussed in the previous lectures also that there are number of types of budget on based on different functions. So this types of budget, we can say it is the part of budgeting control. And while budgetary control, we can say it is a strategy. So how it is a strategy? Because it used to measure the actual incomes, how expenditure we will do, what are the quantity of the number of units need to be produced, so the budgeted ones, and to find and correct any deviation. So wherever we can find any gap, so by help of this budgetary control we can fill the gap. And budget is a tool and budgetary control is the final results. So this is very important, you have to remember this. Budget, we can say it is just a tool, while budgetary control is the final result. Now why budgetary control? What are the reasons? So first one is to plan appropriately for the future, to establish coordination among various activities of the organization, to boost the morale of the employees, again it is very important, to correct on time and any deviations if we find we can correct them, to communicate effectively, and the last one is to control the working of an enterprise. Now different techniques of budgetary control. In first one is variance analysis. The variance analysis is an effective tool to control. Variance are calculated for actual cost and the budgeted ones. So what is the meaning of variance? We can find the difference, like what is our actual cost and what we have estimated. So the variance found are classified as favorable or it may be unfavorable, and according to the areas of control and actions they can identify. What is the meaning of responsibility accounting? Responsibility accounting is an important technique of budgetary control. Like we can say centers such as cost center, profit center, investment center, etc. are created. So in responsibility accounting, different centers are created, and the entire organization is divided as per these centers. So by making these different centers, enterprise divides as per the centers, and they are assigned with the respective responsibilities. Thus this center will be taken care by this as. So the division will be possible, and they are assigned with the respective responsibility of cost and investment, and the deviation in the said parameters are directly linked with the performance of the employees of the center. So they can see that in this center the more performance is required. Some loopholes are found in some centers, so they can remove by helping of the budgetary control. Now what is the meaning of zero based budgeting? So ZBB, that is zero based budgeting, is a management tool which provides a systematic method for evaluating all operations and program. It may be for current, it may be for new, and it allows for budget reductions and expansions in a rational manner, and allows reallocation of resources from low to high priority programs. So this definition given by David, zero based budgeting. Now the last one is advantages of budgetary control. So there are different advantages of budgetary control. Some we will discuss here. It will help in cost control. So cost control, budgetary control helps to serve as an effective tool for cost control by cutting down the unnecessary expenditure. So by budgetary control, we can see that in this area, in this particular point, the expenses are, we are doing more, and the cost cutting cost is very much important. So wherever there we are doing unnecessary expenditure, we can cut down the cost. So by helping of this budgetary control, we can reduce the cost. So in a way, we can increase our profit. Increase profitability. So budgetary control increases the profitability of an organization and controlling the cost. So it is very simple. If we reduce our cost, the profitability will be increased. Base for policymakers. So wherever the budgets are prepared, so it will be help for the policymakers. Why? Because on the basis of that budget, that estimated budget, they can formate some policies, and they can come to some decisions. So it serves as the base for framing the future policies of the business by indicating the areas of high deviation. So wherever there is a more observation is required, so budgetary control will help in that. Now the reduce wastage. So if the cost will be cut down, automatically it will reduce our wastage. So budgetary controls brings efficiency in the production by reducing the wastage. Now the areas of action. So budgetary controls points, it is divided into different center, and it will be taken care by all the centers. So wherever the employees are performing, whether the performance is up to mark or not up to mark, so as per that the comments will be given, and they can if the training is required, the entity or business will give them training, and they can reduce the cost, and in same way they can avoid the any risky situations. Now assist managerial functions. So budgetary control helps the manager perform the different managerial functions, like it will be help for coordination, it is helpful in controlling, helpful for staffing, directing and coordination. The next one is framing the policies. So budgetary control is helpful in framing the most suitable policies for the business organization. Now here we are going to complete the discussion of this units. The questions are here given for your exercise point of view. You can write, or you can learn from the SLM also. So first one is define budgetary control. Next one is what is a flexible budget. Third one is explain zero-based budgeting, that we have discussed right now. What are the various techniques of evaluating a capital project? Define master budget. What is a cash budget? Define static budget. Explain current budget. Explain responsibility accounting. And the long questions. First one is what is budget? States its characteristics and advantage. Explain the concept of budgeting along with its benefits and limitation. The third one is give a detailed description of the various techniques of budgetary control that we have discussed in this lecture. Draw a chart showing different types of budget prepared by different enterprise. So students, I hope that you have learned good points from this lecture. We will meet in the next lecture with new lesson. Namaskar.
स्वाध्यायः परमः